Winning the lottery is everyone's dream, but you should be careful what you wish for. What you probably don't know about the lottery is that it's not uncommon for lottery winners to go broke and make their way into people's lists of most stupid lottery winners of all time. In fact, about 70% of lotto winners end up losing all of their money. How? Well, hey, you're about to find out. In this video, we've analyzed the lifestyle of several lottery winners, and we've used this information to compile a list of the 5 dumbest ways that lottery winners went broke. Among the 5, there is a lottery winner who didn't even spend their money on up to 5 items before losing it, and one who ended up working at a spa she once owned. Keep watching to see how it all played out. Gambling is an obvious way to go broke, whether or not you win the lottery. It's simply a bad habit that's going to eat you up from the inside out. Unfortunately, that was the case for a certain lottery winner named Evelyn Adams. When you win the jackpot once, we'll call you lucky. But when you win it twice, you're phenomenal. At first glance, one would think that Evelyn Adams had the universe on her side, because she didn't just win the lottery once, but 2 times. In 1985, Evelyn won New Jersey's $3.9 million jackpot, and then she won the $1.4 million jackpot 4 months later. In the beginning, Evelyn spent her money pretty wisely. She bought the convenience store she worked at, gave out money to those who needed it, and returned to college to get a music degree with the aim of opening a music store in the future. Sadly, her vice eventually caught up with her, as she would end up gambling away most of her money a few years later at Atlantic City Casino. Keeping the wrong company will cost you a lot of things, including your lottery winnings. If you don't believe us, we're sure you will after learning about the life of Kelly Rogers. See, after Kelly won £1.9 million in 2003, which is about $2.4 million, at the young age of 16, one thought that she'd, correctly invest the money in her future with the guidance of those around her. But that is the opposite of what happened. Within 15 years of her winning the lottery, Kelly had spent about $11,500 on boob jobs, $300,000 on clothing and cosmetics, £85,000 on sports car, and £250,000 on drugs. In addition to that, she also spent almost £700,000 on luxury vacations with her peers, gifts to boyfriends, and other friends and family who would ask her for money. Why on earth did no one steer this young girl in the right direction? As of 2021, Kelly Rogers was an impoverished 33-year-old single mother of 4, and sources say that she lives off of benefits in order to make ends meet for herself and her kids. An even worse case of bad peer influence leading a lottery winner to go broke is the story of Gerald Mustwin. In 1998, he won a $10 million jackpot and immediately began to spend his winnings on extravagant livings. According to reports, he bought new vehicles, 10 flat-screen TVs, and other luxurious items for his friends. It didn't end there either. He made it a habit to host numerous parties fueled with alcohol and drugs, and you already know who the party guests were. After 2 years of squandering his money on people that obviously didn't have his best interest at heart, Gerald decided to invest what was left of that little money in a logging business. Unfortunately for him, it failed due to low sales. And if things weren't bad enough, Gerald Mustwin ended up going to jail on 2 crime accounts, one of which was sexual assault on a 19-year-old woman. When Gerald eventually got released, he resorted to doing the heavy lifting on his friend's farm so that he could provide food on the table for his girlfriend and 6 kids. This is probably the point where Mustwin must have lost all of his winnings. No pun intended. At the end of his sad tale, Gerald Mustwin's corpse was found in his parents' garage after he had hung himself. Are you intrigued by the questionable ways that people lost their lottery winnings? Before we move on to the next dumb decision on our list, ensure that you like this video and subscribe to our channel to find related videos. When you hear of lottery winners that went broke, the first dumb reason that probably comes to your mind is foolish spending. And you're right. However, there are different levels of foolish spending, with some being dumber than others. Let's take a look at the wealthy yet sad life of William Budd Post III. At the time, he won a Pennsylvania lottery jackpot worth $16.2 million in 1988. Post had only $2.46 in his account at the time. So when he won, it seemed like he was the luckiest man in the world, but this was just the beginning of a tragedy. Post settled for 26 annual payments of his winning in the form of $500,000, it was specifically $497,953.47, and this would be the only smart move that he made concerning his winnings, because within the first 2 weeks of collecting his annual payment, Post had already spent over $300,000 of it. On what, you might wonder? Well, we're getting there. William Post spent his money on a liquor license, a lease for a restaurant in Florida for his siblings, a used car lot for another sibling, and a twin-engine airplane. Even though he didn't have a license, which means he technically couldn't actually fly it, Within the first 3 months of his win, Post was already in about $500,000 worth of debt, mainly from the property he purchased for his siblings. So he eventually cut off ties with said siblings and moved on the following year to buy a $395,000 mansion in Oil City, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, trouble seemed to find William Post wherever he went, because his landlady, who was his also on-again, off-again girlfriend, sued him for a portion of his winnings, claiming that he promised to give it to her since she was the one who purchased the tickets on his behalf. Ultimately, the court ruled in her favor, and Post was forced to pay a third of his winnings. But by this time, William Post was spending most of his money on mortgage payments. In 1992, after a judge ordered that his payments be frozen until he paid his girlfriend, Post was forced to sell all of his assets, including his mansion, which he sold for a trifling $65,000. He later auctioned off the remaining lottery payments he was due, and all these sales amassed him $2.65 million. And if you thought this was a happy ending, you're pretty far from the truth. William Post's second rags to riches story was short-lived, as a year later, he spent all of this money on his debts. 2 houses, 6 vehicles, and a $260,000 sailboat in Biloxi, Mississippi. After becoming poor again and learning that one of his brothers had hired a hitman to kill him in hopes of inheriting a portion of his money, William Post confessed that his life was much happier before he won the lottery ticket in the first place. The remedy to spending foolishly is to make wise investments. Sadly, only a tiny percent of lottery winners are wise enough to invest their money in order to gain multiple returns from it. However, if you think investing your lotto winnings is guaranteed of a way to hold on to your wealth, then sorry to burst that bubble. You should know that you could still end up broke even if you invest. Bad luck is rampant in this world, and there are those of us who, after depriving themselves of luxury in hopes of getting richer, still end up being broke. Ouch. A typical example is the case of Laura and Roberto Griffiths. After winning £1.8 million, which is roughly equal to $3.5 million, ended up with only £7 due to poor investments. How did they get to that point? Let's dive in, shall we? In 2006, after the British couple won the lottery, they immediately invested their earnings in their dream house, a £675,000 or $871,000 mansion, fully stocked with top-notch furniture for the couple and their 2 daughters. Their next move was to purchase 2 expensive cars, a £28,000 Porsche and a Lexus 4x4 SUV. Now, these aren't entirely dumb investments because it's important to have a roof over your head, and who uses the bus when you can afford a car? Not me. However, any businessman can attest to the fact that houses and cars are not considered assets. Instead, they are huge liabilities. You don't earn anything from them, but you spend a lot of money maintaining them. It became undeniable that Laura and Roberto Griffiths knew little to nothing about business when they eventually decided to invest in something worthwhile: a beauty spa and real estate. Laura opened up her own beauty spa for the same reasons that people invest their money, to get more in return. Now, this was a wise move, except for the part where she made her husband Roberto manage all of the financial work. Unsurprisingly, his lack of financial education made the business decline, and it never produced any profit. As for the real estate investment, where the Griffiths put most of their money, bad luck hit them hard when the global economy crashed in 2008 to 2009. They lost all of their investments. In the end, they had a series of unfortunate events that ended with them selling their home, getting divorced, and Laura working as an employee in the beauty spa she once owned and had to sell. Needless to say, poor investments can definitely ruin you. You know, not all of the dumb ways lottery winners go broke is by making a stupid decision. Sometimes not doing anything at all with your earnings is the dumbest move to make, and such was the case of Marty and Kate Tort, the couple who couldn't do anything with their winnings after they misplaced their ticket. The story began when the newlywed couple saw the news about the lottery's unclaimed jackpot. Realizing that the winner's numbers were theirs, they ransacked their apartment in search for that old lotto ticket. Sadly, the couple couldn't find it, and they had to make an appeal to investigators for 7 weeks. Well, eventually the investors concluded that their claim was genuine. However, because they took so long to report their lost ticket, which was due to the fact that they've never known they won in the first place, the court ruled that the lottery company was not obliged to pay them what they had earned. Now, what's the worst stroke of bad luck that anyone can ever get here? Marty and Kate Tort were devastated as they settled to continue living out normal life, while relying on their meager salary of €34,000 per annum. So what are your thoughts on these incredibly dumb ways that lottery winners went broke? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below of which of these people made the actual most foolish decision. And, yeah, you don't want to miss this next one. Video, that is.